I'm Donzel Franklin. Welcome to the third annual It Takes a Village mentoring program here on Chicago's Southeast Side. Raise your hand if you have someone in your family, a male, that's in the penitentiary right now. Hands down. We've come together again to continue to provide enrichment for our youth. With over 1,100 murders in the city right now, we believe at the Our Kids Count Foundation it's our duty to man up and begin the process of teaching our children the process of becoming a man.
Say I lent you $100 and you didn't pay that back to me on time, then how is that fair? It's not fair because you're not paying me the money I owed you. So if I'm going to lend you money again, I'm not going to do it the same way. I'm going to want more in return because it's a riskier loan, right? If you don't trust somebody, you lend them money and it's a risky loan, you got to charge them more because chances are they might not pay you back.
Today we're going to be focusing on entrepreneurship. We're going to be focusing on financial literacy. We're also partnering with the Ben Wilson Foundation to focus on prison and gang intervention. It's going to be a powerful day. We have over 50 young men that have come out on their Saturday afternoon because they want to be better. So the evidence is that we present is that our kids want to be better, but we need more men to step up to the plate and provide the enrichment, the support, and the interventions so that our kids can be successful.
That incident took no more than maybe 5 minutes to unfold. I was 16 years old, and that kind of like defined me in the eyes of society of who I was. William Moore, AKA Billy. I'm here with Coach Franklin to come speak to his kids pretty much about the situation that we face in Chicago with this senseless violence that's taking place on a daily basis. My involvement in this project is pretty much to give my experience on how I got caught up as a youth when I was 16 and went away to prison. So hopefully that my experience can be passed on to these kids so that they don't have to go through the things that I went through. I've learned over a course of time that experience is not always the best teaching. Sometimes the best teaching is other people's experience. You can look at their mistakes. I became this demonized individual who took away a young man who had so much talent and so much promise. And I also went away. I did 20 years. I did 19 years and 9 months. Basically 20 years of my life for a mistake that I made. I know that picking up a gun is never something that a 16-year-old should be doing. You don't have the mind and the mental capacity to understand the responsibility that comes along with doing something like that.
My name is Quentin and I want to be a mechanical engineer.
My name is Johnson. I want to be a basketball player.
My name is Jordan and I want to do real estate.
I gotta start pretty much teaching the value of education, the value of love, and humility. And I think that's what's missing.
Absolutely. And thus far this year, we are actually over 1,100 shootings in the city of Chicago. We're on track to pretty much have one of the deadliest years and deadliest summers that Chicago has ever seen. And I believe Mr. Moore is exactly right. The value of the education system is important. And coming to the point where we realize that the schools are not enough. You know, there needs to be more interventions and supports for the students outside of just the academic arena. So one thing that we're doing with this project is taking an initiative, stepping up and manning up to start providing some enrichment and start providing some additional interventions for our youth so that they can be successful. Everybody say, I want to live. I want to live. Now say it like you're mad. I want to live. I want to live. One thing that we've been seeing with the African American and Hispanic males is that they face so many things growing up that though they externally they become adults, internally they're still kids because they haven't healed the traumas and different things that they've experienced as a kid.
And it'll be an asset for me for the rest of my life. I can continue to get that money every month. So what's a liability? A liabilities are things that take money out of your pocket. So your car note, your mortgage payment, like he was talking about getting in credit card debt. You get that debt, you run it up.